Hello, it's TruthSOSeeker here, and I'm back with another game of ones for you guys. Have something a little bit different this time around. I wanted to talk more about rushing in general in this video, because this seems like something that occurred in these two games. Actually, I have two games here. Uh, this game is going to be a game where I get rushed, and the next game is going to be against the same opponent, the very next game, and it's where I actually rush him. So I just wanted to show some things that could happen both ways, and mainly why you just need to scout in general. And also, I guess it could be a small lesson about mini bases, because, for example, on this map, Bedrock, you have 3 mini bases, so it's not so critical you take it right away. But on the next map we have, that will be Vault, you'll only have 1 mini base right next to you that you can grab, so it's really important you try and get that so that your opponent doesn't grab it. Because if your opponent can grab it, it can slow you down a lot. Okay, so I go Chopper at the start. I'm going Generator second because, from what I understand, getting to Tech 2 as fast as possible is critical in Covenant Mirrors, and I feel that Generator second, or well, Extractor second, is the best way to do that. So that's what I'm doing. Using my Chopper to try and get some of the power. I've debated, like, for example, with that grunt that is moving down right now, to whether he should be grabbing power or actual supply. I understand going for actual supply, because if I go and grab the power, as I am doing, true, I am getting the power that my opponent may not be able to gather now, but at the same time, if you notice, I'm actually going to have delays on my 5th building, and I wouldn't have that delay if I were to be grabbing the supply instead. So it's a double-edged sword either way. I went for the power this game just so, again, my opponent may not be able to gather it, and I can gather all the power more effectively. But I see he hasn't grabbed that power yet, and I'm kind of confused what he's going for here. But honestly, like, around probably when I get the last of that power, I should probably be scouting him out. I guess you could say I was being a little bit greedy and trying to get as much power as I could with my Chopper here, because you see, as I'm getting the last bit of that power, rather than scouting him, I go ahead and just go and get the last crates of power, because I want to try and get all of it that I can, which I suppose is fine, but something I should have at least been aware of is that, okay, maybe he could be rushing if I haven't seen anything from him. Part of me was just kind of thinking he wasn't doing much of anything of any danger, so that's, I suppose, what was going through my mind at this point. Okay, he hasn't gathered any power, so he's not hitting me with anything. But you should really be aware of it, and I see that his ghosts are coming here, and I'm like, oh no, he has shields on them too. So I realize, okay, he's going heavy ghosts, and at this point I'm probably in a little bit of trouble, because he definitely has more ghosts out than I do, and he has the upgrade for them. And I'm actually not set for it right now. So basically the plan I come up with here is, so I queued a couple of choppers, and they're basically just meant to try and hold him off. I didn't know how many ghosts he had, but I wanted to try and use them for defense so that I could try and either get a turret up or try and get a raid camp up, because if I can get a raid camp up or even an apex up, then I can start making hunters or banshees, and those both will just wreck ghosts. So yeah, you see I'm trying to ram now just because I want that turret to try and get up. He has 4 ghosts to my I guess 3 choppers in total, although they're not all here right now. He does manage to drop the turret, and I'm trying to kill that one ghost that I weakened, but he does have a lot more up here than I do right now, and even just trying to kill that one ghost is proving to be a bit of a challenge for me. I should have queued a raid camp by now, by the way, and tried to re-queue a turret. Okay, I did queue the raid camp at least. And queuing a turret up as well, even though he could deny it. The point is that it's going to try and buy me time to get some hunters out. But yeah, you can see that the choppers alone just aren't going to cut it. I should actually probably queue another raid camp right now just to, give him another target, because True, he can probably try and stop either the upcoming raid camp, the upcoming turret, or try and stop the current raid camp making hunters, but he can't stop all three. Definitely. And I think he kind of figured that he needed to stop that raid camp so that hunters couldn't get out, but I think it's pretty much possible to stop. So I have one hunter out. It's not really going to do much in actually stopping him, but while he's trying to focus again that one hunter down, I have another raid camp making more hunters, and I have a turret that's actually up now that's going to become a fuel rod. So basically I was able to push that rush off just because I was able to get Tech 2 fast enough, and his ghosts weren't able to inflict enough damage to keep down all of my threats. But yeah, he sees that he couldn't stay on my base any longer because I have a hunter out now, and I have a fuel rod turret, so he's now going to try and take out my mini bases because he figures that's probably the best next thing he can do. I'm just going to keep trying to get hunters out, start getting locusts out, because that's what you want to do. And I'm thinking he may try and go for the other mini base, because that seems like something he could try and do. So I see he's backing off, or at least I thought he was backing off. So I'm figuring, okay, I don't need to be over there. But then I see, oh wait, he's just going around the long way. So I'm going to have my chopper scout out his actual base, and I'm going to have my hunters come down to try and defend my mini base. Because I feel that even with just 3 hunters, like, I should be able to kill a lot of those ghosts. And I do want to get rid of those ghosts too, because it's not like they're a useless unit right now, because they will be able to ram my locusts and kill them. So I do want to try and get rid of them, if he's simply going to try and sit there and take out the mini base. I had my ghost in the back trying to act as more of a reinforcement, but here I kind of mess up and I have it, so his ghost could try and go for my locust should he try to. So you see they're actually trying to aim him down right now. I don't know if they rammed or not, but yeah, they did manage to kill that locust, and I think it was still an okay trade because I probably killed like 2 or 3 ghosts for the locust. But yeah, I scouted him. I see he's going double foundry. I'm not sure if it's really best to go double foundry, just because, again, hunters seem like such a good option, because since we both have teleport, I don't have it right now, but I should have it, I think, next leader point. I could potentially just teleport my hunters into his locust, and that could be a pain. True, he can teleport them out, but even just having hunters next to locust for a couple seconds can be really game-changing. So I'm heading up to his base right now. I'm in result to him trying to just run away from my hunters. I always have vortex, so I can use that to either stun or just pretty much almost kill his locust to the point where my guys just need to be somewhat within range to actually make something happen. But yeah, I switched to double foundry at this point because I figure, okay, I have 5 hunters out. That should be enough, or at least I assume that'd be enough to get done what needs to be done. So you see he's trying to outrange me, which I think is what he should be doing, because he definitely doesn't want to fight these hunters up close. So what I decided to do is, like I was saying, I'm going to try and get close enough to him so that I can use the vortex to stun his guys, and that'll give my hunters enough time to get up on them to actually try and finish them. He tries to use extract, but it was pretty much useless at this point. I don't know if you can actually teleport out of a vortex or not. I haven't tried it. Probably should try it. So yeah, you see he has his ghost coming back now, so yeah, at this point though it's pretty much over because yeah, he wasn't able to get enough locusts out, and because that vortex was just honestly quite devastating to him. He wasn't able to really make anything work. See, he's just sacking all of his units now. And this is the end of game 1, so like I said, there's 2 games I wanted to show. This is the one where he rushes. Now I want to show the game where I rush. Okay, so we're at game 2 now. You see we're on Volt. Same matchup. But again, on this map you only have 1 mini base, so it's really important that you try and take it. Because if the enemy takes it, okay, true, you can just kill it at the right time, but you generally want to grab that mini base anyway, and it can slow you down a good bit. Even if they just recycle it afterwards, they'll only have put in 100 supplies into it overall. So you see I'm going ahead and I'm queuing up a chopper here. And I'm going to use this chopper to not only grab power, but I had it in the back of my head this time. Okay, he rushed me last time. I should really scout to see if he's going to try and do that again here. So I have a chopper out, going to get power, and I plan on actually scouting him out and seeing what all he's doing. So I'm doing my normal generator second, or extractor second. I keep calling it generator. I'm going generator second, going to go generator fifth, try and boom into locust. This map I was actually thinking about how locust would even work because the map is much larger. It's going to be a lot harder to actually maneuver troops around, and I was thinking not necessarily grabbing the mini base next to his because I thought he'd grab it, but maybe trying to grab some of the mini bases in the middle, the double mini bases or whatever they're called, and trying to pump from them because at least they're halfway across the map, and that would make my troops get to his base much faster. So I had that going in the back of my head here. I'm upgrading the power extractor, not generator. And I was going to go scout his mini base and scout his main to see if he had 2 generators, because I figured, okay, even if I scout the main, that I wouldn't know necessarily if he had a extractor on his mini base or not. See, I scout it, and I see he doesn't have it, so I go ahead and I grab it. Honestly, I should have even considered grabbing my own, but even more than that is just being aware that the enemy could have it, because that's such an important thing to note. I really should have tried to grab mine, though, as well, with one of those 2 starting grunts. I was using them to prioritize on getting supplies in the middle, but I probably should have, in hindsight, even just grabbed the mini base on my side. See, I'm grabbing the money there. I don't want him to know that I have this mini base, if he doesn't scout it. So I'm queuing a raid camp to make jetpack brutes, and I'm actually going to redirect my chopper, so I'm not going to just scout him directly. I'm actually going to send my chopper around the long way, just to make it look like I didn't send my chopper back to that mini base site, and to not give him the impression that I'm doing that. So I scout him out, and I see that he only has 1 extractor, which does tell me he's doing some sort of rush himself. So I'm including choppers into my army, so that if he does go ghost, my jetpack brutes aren't just going to get completely crammered by what he's throwing at me. And I'm actually sending a grunt at this point, or something. I think I'm sending my first chopper I get out to go and check my mini base to see if he has it. So he scouts me, and he sees I have double generator. And honestly, even like with all this, like it could look like I'm not rushing because I have double generator. He saw me scout and just back away, so he may be thinking that I'm actually not rushing. And right around here, I have my audio muted, but I hear that he self-destructs one of his pads. I think it might have been right there for what I assumed was a generator. So I actually thought that he wasn't going for a rush at this point, which further helps me. He may have thought I wasn't rushing because I did in the first game. So yeah, he sees I have that grunt, he rams it. This is something you got to be really careful of whenever you use your ram. You always got to be aware when you use your ram that you're going to be open to, if another chopper's nearby, that they could also ram you, and that can be quite a big deal. So yeah, you see I'm not able to actually constantly pump, so I'm actually just going to make jetpack brutes priority at this point. Have Tech 2 going up, because even though I'm rushing, still want to have Tech 2 to try and go locust. This is mainly just to slow him down. See, I have some brutes at this point. I'm figuring now is the time I should really be trying to push. So 5 jetpack brutes and a couple choppers, which may not seem like a lot. And he even has 2 turrets, but like even for just 2 turrets, and he's even building a 3rd, jetpack brutes can really lay a number on these things. Like you see, this one turret's already dead, just dead. I have some choppers, and the choppers are mostly just cannon fodder, to be honest. They're just kind of soaking in some of the hits, and Mainly just acting as I said before, just a counter to early ghosts or something. So I see he has a Banshee, so I'm just actually going to not build any more choppers. I'm going to just throw in grunts because they're a natural like counter. Going to try and aim down his stuff here. Have the brutes aiming down the apex while I have my actual other stuff just aim down the extractors. I mean, I could aim down the supplies, but I feel like that's not necessary. Something I should be doing right now, yeah, and I just now start doing it, is I've had Tech 2 for a little while now. I should have started building on my base. It's not so bad because I'm doing a lot of damage on his main, and it's probably okay to have some small delays, but I do want to keep building. Because, again, if he's ever doing something else, like trying to make quick locust or something, then I need to be ready to address that. And he is doing just that, by the way. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I'm stripping his main here, and it's amazing. Just even 5 brutes. If he would have had probably some more ghosts or some suicide grunts or something, then he probably could have pushed this off. But he didn't scout it out. He didn't even check his mini base. I at least checked my mini base. I believe at the start, or not the start, but at some halfway point, I had a chopper scout that. I should have bought it, but at least I had scouted it out. And it's clear that I'm going to be able to drop this base. So my only other question is, does he have a base somewhere else? So you see I have some choppers going out, and I'm going to be scouting all the bases to see if he has any base anywhere. And I'm just going to start to get actual locusts out at this point, because it seems like all I need. See, I see he has 3 locusts. I'm not sure where they came from. Maybe he was building on a mini base or something? He would have had to have been. See, I'm just going to have my guys stay back on defense. I have my vortex ready in case he pushes. It's only 3 locusts from what I had seen. So I wasn't so concerned, but I figure since I'm already in a winning position, I just need to defend whatever small hit he's going to throw at me. See, I see he's coming in here. He has a ghost, 3 locusts. And, yeah, I'm just going to throw the vortex down and try and stop his guys here. I know my guys are walking away, but I need to keep that vortex going. And his guys are just going to die. So, hope you guys enjoyed these 2 games. Shows how to rush and how you need to scout out and just do simple things like, if you have 1 mini base, you need to make sure they don't have that. Generally, you want to take it, but you need to make sure that they don't have that. And so yeah, that's it for this game. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in another one. Take care.